I was taking 100 milligrams of Zoloft a day, and I was still like in a panic when I would wake up. I wasn't sleeping well. I was having like heart palpitations because before I would have never, I would say I barely made it through my days, Justin. I mean, it would be awful. I knew it was holding me back. I knew that it was keeping me from living my life. And I was at a point where I was like, my daughter is 5 now. And I was like, you know what? Like, I can't, like, this is not the example I want my daughter to grow up thinking that like a woman is. From my past on, it's that really, in my opinion, is the underlying cause for the anxiety. It's that feeling of unworthiness and not being good enough, not being worthy of love or affection. That's what all of that stems from for me. I feel like I have great days. And even like, you wouldn't know it. Like today, even before we got on here, kids were running around screaming their heads off. And normally that kind of situation would trigger like this whole onslaught of things. And then, but like now it's actually really liberating to be like, you know what, you guys can fall apart. I'm not going to. I remember, and I think I might have told you about this. I got into an argument with my husband about something. It was really silly. Like it was probably, I don't even remember. It was probably about our kids. Who knows, and I remember like starting to feel that feeling like that. Oh, well, I'm just not good enough for any of this. And this is why this is all happening. And it's all my fault. And that's literally how my mind would go. And I caught myself before that rat race started and really was able to be like, oh my gosh, Kyla, has nothing to do with it, like that. Like this has nothing to do with whether or not you're good enough. This is literally just a petty argument. And I realized in that moment, like I was like taking on all this like old pain and anger, projecting it onto myself and my husband. The biggest improvement has been my relationship with my kids. And, 6 months ago, if you would have asked me like how my kids' behavior was, I would have been like, oh my gosh, it's terrible. They're acting out all the time. It's awful. Like they hate me, as a mom, sometimes you think that. And it's funny, not funny, but it's amazingly like connected that the better and better I have gotten, they magically have gotten better and better too. And it's like, not only their behavior, but in our interactions with one another, and how they treat each other, how they treat me. And it's just, that's been the biggest change I've noticed. I took a trip solo, which is unheard of for me. I went with just girlfriends and went and enjoyed myself. And I just felt myself being in every moment. And it's like, I don't even know if I can say that I was like that before ever. And so being able to feel like you're living life and not just floating through it, it's crazy. I probably have a goofy smile on my face right now, like talking about that. But it's been, it's kind of like that honeymoon phase when you're like, either you get a new job or something really awesome happens to you, but it's like that, it keeps going because you've let go of something that was holding you down for so long. First one, it's okay not to want to take medication. I know a lot of people, they do it, but they do it reluctantly or they feel bad. I want to say, like, if your heart is telling you that there's another way, then trust that and be open when someone like Justin says, like, this is what I do and there's another way. Because I wish 10 years ago that I would have known this. I wish 10 years ago there would have been a Justin, doing this, because it's like, I think about, we've only been given one life and all that precious time that I lost. And it's okay to want to get better, and it's okay to hope that you can. You don't have to listen to what the doctors say or what other people say. Oh, like, I have depression too, girl. It's not a big deal. How many times have I heard that in my life? Goodness, like, it is a big deal. And it's something that it does need to be resolved. Don't let someone else dictate your decision, because if you do, you will always end up doing what someone else wants you to do. And I'm really happy that I was non-negotiable about this. When I took this to my husband, I said, you know what? I think this is a non-negotiable. I wish I could have seen myself 6 months ago. Cause if you would have told me we would have been on this call talking like this right now, I would not have believed you.
Yeah.
And it just took that little like, okay, I'm tired of this. I don't want to live like this anymore. I'm going to be 30 this year. It's my year.